Chapter 1, The Warrior and the Conqueror. Vincent materialized on a hill overlooking the plain of Chaeronea in ancient Greece. He had traveled back in time to witness the Battle of Chaeronea in 338 BC, where Philip II of Macedon had decisively defeated the allied Greek forces led by Athens and Thebes. Vincent had always been fascinated by this period of history, and he wanted to witness firsthand the rise of Macedon under the leadership of one of the greatest conquerors in history. As he watched the battle unfold, Vincent was struck by the disciplined and efficient tactics of the Macedonian army. They were vastly outnumbered by the Greek forces, but their superior training and organization allowed them to win a crushing victory. Vincent knew that this was just the beginning of Philip's conquests, and he wanted to witness how he managed to unite the fractious Greek city-states under his rule. Vincent spent the next few years traveling throughout Greece, observing the political maneuvering and military campaigns of Philip II. He was amazed at the sheer audacity of the man, who seemed to be driven by a relentless desire for power and conquest. Vincent admired his strategic genius and his ability to inspire loyalty in his soldiers, but he also saw the ruthless side of his personality, which sometimes involved betraying or eliminating his rivals. Vincent witnessed the assassination of Philip II in 336 BC and was amazed at how quickly his son Alexander the Great took up the mantle of leadership and continued his father's conquests. Vincent knew that he had witnessed a pivotal moment in history, one that would shape the course of Western civilization for centuries to come. As he traveled back to the present, Vincent couldn't help but wonder what he would have done in Philip's place. Would he have been content to rule over a small kingdom, or would he have been driven to conquer the known world? He knew that he had a thirst for power and knowledge that sometimes bordered on obsession, and he wondered if that was what made the great conquerors of history so successful. Chapter 2, Kronos' Apostle. Vincent traveled back to ancient Greece, witnessing the battles and political maneuvers of the Peloponnesian War and the rise of Macedon under Philip II. As he observed history unfold, Vincent realized the importance of Philip's rule and the impact it had on the world. However, Vincent's journey was not just about observation. As he neared the end of his time in the past, Vincent intervened to prevent Philip's assassination. With his knowledge of the future, Vincent was able to stop the assassin from ever reaching Philip. After saving Philip, Vincent retreated into hiding to observe the outcome of his actions. He watched as Philip continued to expand Macedon's power and influence, wondering what the future held for this great empire. Chapter 4, Shadows of War. As Philip II marches his army deeper into Persian territory, Vincent watches from the shadows. He observes the bloody battles and brutal tactics used by both sides. But one moment stands out to him above all others. Philip II has captured a group of mercenaries who fought for the Persian army. In a show of mercy, he decides to spare their lives and offers them a chance to lead his army from the front as punishment for their betrayal. Vincent is impressed by Philip's unexpected act of kindness and begins to see him in a different light. From that point on, Vincent becomes more involved in the war effort. He offers strategic advice to the lower-ranking troops and gathers information from the local populace. He never interferes with the higher-ups, but he finds himself rooting for Philip's success. As the war comes to a close, Vincent realizes that he wants to do more than just observe. He wants to help shape the future of this world. He comes up with a plan to put a Persian prince in power, one who will be loyal to Philip and help maintain order in the conquered lands. With his mind set on his new mission, Vincent disappears back into the shadows, ready to make his move when the time is right. Chapter 5, The King Above Kings. From the shadows, Vincent had witnessed Philip's great victory over the Persian Empire. The vast riches and territories that came with the conquest only served to increase the king's thirst for power. He returned to Macedon with his army, but his ambitions did not end there. Philip knew that to maintain control over the vast territories he had conquered, he needed to solidify his power and influence over the region. He began a series of political maneuvers, forging alliances through political marriages and removing corrupt local lords and replacing them with loyal followers of his, some of whom were Persians. Through these win-win deals, he ensured the loyalty of the people under his rule and stopped any possible rebellions. While Vincent observed these political plays from the shadows, he did not intervene. He knew that his interference would only complicate matters and potentially create unintended consequences. As Philip's power grew, he made a bold move. He destroyed Sparta as punishment for their past betrayal in the war. This sent a message to all the other city-states. Philip was the ruler who brought even the proudest of kings to bow to him. Philip also solidified his family as the complete and rightful dynasty over the Persians and Greeks. He had both of his sons become the next in line as the next two kings, planning to unify the bloodlines and make the most legitimate heir to the throne. Vincent watched in awe as Philip consolidated his power and influence over the region. Though he had never met Philip, Vincent knew that the king was a brilliant strategist and a visionary ruler. The title "The King Above Kings" was well deserved.